Greetings, YouTube. I don't want to sound too dramatic to start out this video, but lately I've received a couple warnings when I've been critical of Kabam that they're tired of it. This is due to behind the scenes, not only some comments that are flagged and hidden, but YouTube still tells me they're there. So you may not be able to see them, but I certainly can. And then it's just the general perception that we should stop complaining about anything wrong with the game. Even after giving Kabam plenty of flowers on my channel, and look, people will say, Prof, you never say anything good. Well, you know who I don't hear that from? The people who watch my channel every day. They never say, Prof, you're never nice. It's the people who only watch the videos that typically get the most number of views. And I hate that this is the case, but human beings generally are more attracted to being critical than being loving. And so I can make a video that's very loving to Kabam and it can get 300 views. And then I can make a video that's very critical of Kabam and something that gets 3,000 views. And if you're not subscribed to the channel or you don't care about crystal openings or things that aren't critical, you're only going to have the perception that my channel is what you watch. So I want to say this to say, I haven't made a video about this in a while because I've kind of just been waiting for more data. Every once in a while on my channel, I will go into a fight, and this could be an alliance quest, this could be in the side quest, in the main event quest, even the arena, and I still feel, because I wasn't somebody that really encountered this as much as a lot of people out there, but I still feel like the inputs are kind of wonky every once in a while. And I'll tap the screen, and I'll know I tapped the screen, and I'll face block. Or the worst is when, and I know I'm fighting somebody that's not like Kingpin or Agent Venom that shrugs it off, and it'll say the word parry, but nothing will happen. There will be no reverse stun. And this is even against somebody like, let's say, Black Bolt, for example, where you know if you parry Black Bolt, especially if it's in the arena, they should be stunned. Now, if it happens in the arena or elsewhere, I just shake it off. I just basically think to myself, because it's easier to do this, it's user error. And I don't think anything else of it. Well, we are going to go to a forum post that has been sent to me recently and requested for me to cover that really takes what I am sometimes seeing on my end, and I'm also using what is the newest but will soon not be the newest iPhone, and I basically am going to read you some posts of people who have seen this much more than I have. And this is a forum post all the way back to August 23rd. So this is probably a forum post that by now Kabam is trying to silence. Now, part of this video is dedicated to the concept of shadow banning. And obviously, Kabam has certain people on the forums that are so prevalent that almost always give positive comments defending Kabam that they really do feel like they're either alt accounts for people like Kabam Mike, or they're just people who maybe get paid to be Kabam defenders no matter what the situation is. And those people consequently never get shadow banned, they never get banned in general. But the average summoner reaches out to me and says, Prof, my inputs are worse than they've been in 6 months, and I can't have people see my own comments. So you can see, input still missing months after compensation is the title of this forum post. Thankfully, at the time of recording, this has not been taken down yet. Firstly, I don't want to sound negative, as I am always highlighting flaws in the software and design, Glad says. So firstly, I would like to thank developers for increasing the rewards and side quest rewards to a more appropriate level. Okay, fair points. But this month in particular, in all forms of the event, Alliance War, Alliance Quest, Arena, and some quest fights, I just cannot land a parry. The frequency is about 5 to 10% of matches, but this could be really an important issue in war when 1 or 2 deaths count for everything. To me, obviously, these input issues occur often well over 12 months from when they were first identified. But this month has been particularly bad. Thoughts is the compensation was to say sorry about inputs, then forget about them. Has anyone else found this to be an issue? So, at least they acknowledge that maybe it's just them. But what you'll see in this forum post is that it's anything but. So Fred Horse says, I find it really shines in the Legends arenas. Shadow Horse says, Alliance Quest has been miserable for me the past month. Use extra large tech champ, Sentinel Warlock. Sentinel causes the whole game to freeze and will not dash back for the life of them. Warlock almost the same way. No issue with parry decks has ever been fixed. And then Glads responds. And then Mackie says, happening to me pretty frequently. It's got to be a point now where I anticipate it and try not to even rely on parry, which is definitely not ideal, but I'm perfectly aware that Kabam won't ever fix it or can't fix it. Either way, I think it's part of the game now. Now, I do think Kabam made strides. They spent a lot of time trying to fix it. But have they over-exaggerated that the mission has been accomplished? I think so. I think it was much easier to say, it's done, it's fixed, we're not going to address this again, than to say it's 70% done, or 80% done, or even 90% done. So, I know this is going to sound pessimistic, and maybe it is, but I just assume that some percentage of the game and some percentage of fights, and it might be the most important fights that you have, will always be bugged, will always have a chance of failing. And I hate that, but at the same time, it is what it is. Turn off beta inputs. For me, it made it better. Not perfect, but better, LBN1 said. Still have to deal with it sometimes. Super fast AI and missed inputs will still exist. So you see all of these different comments, and this is still technically in August. So let's go down to September this month, because maybe you're thinking that the new September patch helped fix some of this. Dr. Zola says, connectivity and input issues continue for me, even after updating devices, modem, and router. The input drop, check. Frame stutter, check. Random dashing, check. Is there any hope that this will get better? Admittedly, it isn't as bad as it was last year, but the lack of reliable controls is very frustrating. So now, again, this is September 5th, a week ago. It recently occurred to me that it may be exactly as bad as it was. We've just adapted and learned to play around it a lot more, Fred Horst 23 says. We're going to go to the last part of this thread, where we will get to these last two comments on September 6th. The parries when dexing are killer. There's node combos where you can't parry and need to dex. It's pretty much instant death, Dave7099 says. And then DKnowles89, I thought having an iPhone 13 Pro would be an improvement over my old Android, which is also what I play on, except I don't think it's the Pro. I think it's just the regular version. No difference, and in some respects even worse with the inputs. Can't hold a block or chain a combo sometimes. Also, now I see random dash forwards or backwards. I will say I've seen that more than the parry issue with the dashing, and I always think to myself, wait, what did I do with my hands? Why does it think I did that? This game is too unstable. You have to spin just to compete or complete any meaningful content. It's gotten to the point of, what's the point now? So, look, I know there are going to be plenty of people who say, the inputs are perfect. I don't know what people are complaining about. And if that's you, I'm happy for you. You know, I want the game to work for as many people as possible. But for these summoners on this post, I don't think they're going to spend time out of their day to make up all these stories. Maybe some of them are exaggerating. There's always a chance. But not the majority. And Kabam, if they say it's over, doesn't owe us anything else besides maybe the somewhat tone-deaf idea that you just need to upgrade your device, though we just saw a comment about how they literally did upgrade their device and the modem and the internet, and it still was as bad as ever. So that clearly isn't the solution that's going to work for at least some people. I just think it's important to note that shadow banning is still happening, especially on forum posts like this. And on top of that, any chance we have to actually report these may fall on deaf ears because Kabam doesn't want to address it now. They're burnt out, and I don't blame them for being, but we're just going to have to accept the fact that unless Kabam suddenly says, yeah, we can do better on this, it's just a permanent part of the game. And that sucks, but it is what it is.